So depression. I've suffered from severe depression. Like, the severe type. I'm on meds and I'm doing okay. Good days and bad days. I don't think I have any great days. And I haven't had an awful day for a good long while. But I have days like today that are just that little bit harder or big bit harder than the others. And for people who don't really know the ins and outs of depression, some people, like me, we cycle rapidly. So bipolar people can kind of go up and down, manic depressed, whatever. I'm not bipolar, but I do take bipolar meds because I cycle depression-wise quite quickly. Which means I can have good day, bad day, blah, blah, blah. Almost every day it takes me time to get out of my car. So basically, like, I'll sit in the car and I might not turn off the engine for a few minutes. I might. And then I'll often sit in the car for between 10 and like 30 minutes. My worst, I think, was an hour. And I just sit there. I'm not sad. I just don't really have the impetus to get out of the car, no matter what I'm doing, even if it's something that I might enjoy. The example I use most, I guess, it's about 6 months ago, I think, and I'd been having ups and downs, and I'd had a few bad days in a row, and I was going to see my psychiatrist the following day, and I was like, what do I describe to him? This can't be depression, because I'm okay some of the time. And I still thought the depression was like a big chunk of time that you were depressed for, and then you were okay. But I realised it was depression. I went to get gas, and I sat in the car for 20 minutes, right at the gas pump. The gas pump was right there. And I opened the door, and I sat on the edge of the seat, and I was halfway in and halfway out of the car for about a further 10 minutes. And then I got out of the car, and like, even talking about it is making me, everything is so hard. And I wasn't like, haha, look at me, this is so silly. I just was existing. I don't know if I was even thinking. And finally I managed to get the pump in the car and started pumping the gas, set it on the light clip. And I sat at the end, I leaned against the car with my butt and put my head against the pump. And I thought to myself, oh God, when the pump clicks off, I'm going to have to take it out of the car. And then I'm going to have to hang it up. And then I'm going to have to screw the cap in place and close the little door. And get in my seat in the car, close the car door, turn on the car, seat belt, gear, drive. And that's the way me, and I would imagine a lot of other depressed people, feel with everyday tasks. I saw an amazing TED Talk by a guy called Andrew Solomon. I was shown it first by a nurse in the inpatient unit, where I was receiving treatment for acute depression, I suppose you'd say. And I've watched it many times myself. She showed it to me again 6 months later, again in the inpatient. It's fabulous. It's his take on his depression. And at some point, I'm not going to phrase this correctly as he did. At some point, he said something like, depression is not like a deep, deep sadness. Shit, I can't remember the rest of the quote. I'll add it to the comments. I'll add the link to his thing, but basically his point was, depression is nothingness, it's the emptiness, it's not sadness. Sometimes sadness comes with it. And it's not like, oh, I'm so sad, I'm so depressed, like people say flippantly all the time. Depression is me being overwhelmed by the thought of finishing up the task of getting gas. And like I said, that was the time I realised, wow, you can actually be depressed 1 minute and not the next. And for me, it's not quite 1 minute, but it doesn't have to be me in a deep dark hole for a month. It can be me having a bad day, a bad half day. Now I'm unlikely to go from the gas pump to going out clubbing that night, but I can go from that to being able to sit with my children and play a board game or something several hours later. To stomach it, because that's the way I can say it. I can stomach it. So yeah, that's my little bit of depression. I'll probably do several more over time. Excuse the yawn. But yeah, depression is a quirky thing, and that's why it's so hard to help medicinally, should I say? Is it the same thing? Everybody's depression is different. And everybody's depression is valid, I guess. And so people outside, there's two types of people, there's loads of types of people. The people outside the mental illness world, some of them, maybe most of them, have no clue what it's about. It's the kind of like, pull yourself together. If you just go for a nice walk, and sometimes that can help a little bit, not pulling yourself together. But, sometimes getting a bit of exercise, getting a bit of fresh air, meeting up with friends for coffee, that can help, and often does actually. But it's not a matter of just, boom, boom, I'm fine. That isn't how it works. Me standing by the pump, if someone says, hey, let's meet for coffee later, I'm not even going to respond to their text. I will push myself sometimes to do that, but when I'm at my worst, it just isn't even possible. I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing every single day. Every single day, I don't work right now. Every single day I work, or I bring my kids to school, or I go to the grocery store. That's me pushing myself just to live. So then to have someone, come along and say, oh, yeah, I'd never let myself get that bad, ever. I had a relative, shall we call them, who said, I completely understand depression. Yeah, it's really bad. I saw it by her. But I just wouldn't let myself get that far. I'm like, oh, darling, then you don't understand depression. And some of us depressives, we do allow ourselves to wallow. Sometimes I decide I am going to sit on the couch and I'm going to watch 10 hours of Netflix. And it's not like you, that you want to watch this show and you watch 10 hours. It's me because I don't know of anything else in that moment. I'm going to watch Netflix. In fact, I never watch TV, but something similar. I'm going to lie there and look into space is my usual one. And that's it. Anyway, I've kept going around in circles in this post and it's almost 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop. Oh my god. Also, sorry, this is the last thing I promise. The reason I decided to shoot this right now is because I'm waiting to go into that donut shop. I was in the car for at least 10 minutes with the engine off, looking at it going, I'm hungry, I want something sweet, I want a coffee, and I still didn't get out of the car. So that's why I recorded this. And one reason I'm not stopping recording this is because then I have to go there. And if I'm doing this, it's somewhat productive, and I have an excuse for not getting out of the car. And I don't want to have to do it. I don't want to stay in the car. It's depression. You don't want to do exit, but you don't want to do Y. And you don't want to do Y. Okay, wish me luck. I'm going in. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it.